Good day to you, children. Remember, in your ninth standard, you had a chapter named Linear Equations in Two Variables. In that chapter, you came across the expressions such as ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where x and y were the variables, the two variables in this equation. X and y were the variables and a, b, c were constant numbers. So in your 10th standard, you will be coming across these kinds of equations in pairs. You will have these kinds of equations in pairs, and they will have one or more than one common solutions to both of in between both of them. So these kinds of equations are known as pair of linear equations in two variables. In general, they are represented as a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. This is the first equation. And a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0 is the second linear equation in two variables. These equations, as I said before, both of these equations have one or more than one solutions in common to each other. At least one. They will have at least one common solution between each of them. Look at the example. The difference between two numbers is 26 and one number is 3 times the other. So our job is to find those two numbers. So first, to tackle these kinds of problems, and these kinds of problems are pretty common in this chapter. So first they will give us a real life situation, and our job is to represent this real life situation algebraically as well as geometrically. We'll get to the geometrical part later. First, let us try to represent this given situation in terms of algebra. So what is the given? The difference between two numbers is 26 and one number is 3 times the other. Find them. So first let us write down let the numbers be. Since the numbers are different, I can write let the numbers be x and y. Right? I can represent the numbers with two variables, x and y. And the difference, what is the first thing that is given? The difference between two numbers is 26. So this implies x minus y is equal to 26. This is our first linear equation in two variables. From the second information that is given to us, we will be getting the second linear equation in two variables. So what is the second information? And one number is 3 times the other. That means x is equal to 3 times y. This is our second equation. So solving these two equations to get the values of x and y will give us the value of the numbers whose difference is 26 and in which one number is 3 times the another number. So this is known as algebraic representation of the given situation. Here we represented the given real life situation in terms of two mathematical equations. These kinds of this is an extremely important step in this chapter, because you will encounter in your exams or in your exercises, you will encounter lots and lots of these kinds of problems. and you will have to first construct the equations based on the given situation and then try to solve them either graphically or algebraically. We will get into that solution part later, but first keep in mind that building up the equations, the linear equations from the given situations is a very important concept, and you have to practice a lot to get this right. Lots of practice is needed. Don't slack over it, and I hope you guys do well with it. So first, there is something you need to understand before we move on to the solution part, and that is how to represent the equations geometrically or graphically. Representing geometrically also means representing the equations graphically. So we have our two equations, that is x minus y is equal to 26 and x is equal to 3y. We have our two equations, and now let us look at the geometrical or graphical representation. To do that, first let us write down the equation. You did it in your last year. You wrote the whole equation in terms of x or y and then plotted then determined the points and then plotted the graph for the equation. So first, using the same step for first equation, x minus y is equal to 26. This implies x is equal to 26 plus y. Okay, I just transposed minus y to the right hand side and got the value of x is equal to 26 plus y. Similarly, there is no need to make any modification for the second equation. Already one variable is on the left hand side and the another variable is on the right hand side. So x is equal to 3y. So now let us determine the points for this. How do we determine the points? For each equation separately, not together, separately. For first equation, write the values of x and y. So when y is equal to 0, 26 plus 0 is 26. X is equal to 26. When y is equal to 1, x is equal to 27. To draw a line, 2 points are enough. So this is 2 points. We got 2 points. So that's enough. No need to determine many more points or several more points. Requiring 2 points is enough. Similarly, for the second equation, x, y, when y is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 because 3 into y. 3 into 0 will give you 0. Similarly, when y is equal to 1, 3 into 1, we get x is equal to 3. Just substitute the value of y in this expression and you will get the value of x. So now since we got all the points, that is for first equation, we got x is equal to 26, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 27 and y is equal to 1. And similarly for second equation, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 10. It's now time to plot the graph for both of these equations in a single Cartesian plane. You don't need to have two different graphs for two different equations. Plot both the equations in the same graph. So let's do that. So as you can see, I have made certain changes to our Cartesian system scale. Usually your x-axis, 1 unit is equal to 1 unit or 1 number, and y-axis, on y-axis you will also take 1 unit is equal to 1 number. But since our equations have such large values of x, that is in one case x is equal to 26 and in another case x is equal to 27. So to make sure that all those values are represented on the graph, I have made some changes. That is x-axis, 1 unit is equal to 5 units. That is 1 square is equal to 5. So your scale will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and so on. Similarly on y-axis, I have taken 1 unit is equal to 2 units. That means 1 square is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Don't worry, most of the cases you won't get these kinds of situation where you will have to adjust the scale of the Cartesian plane. Most of the times you will have to make use of the usual scale which you have learned so far. So now You can look here, this is my y-axis. I have taken the numbers up to 18. Starting from 0, O, I have taken the numbers up to 18. And on y-axis, I have taken the numbers from 5. From 0, 5, 10, 15. Because that is, I have adjusted the scale on the x-axis. And now, and you can also notice that here, I have written the scale with pen. Don't use pen on graph sheet ever. I have used pen just to highlight what I have written with pencil on the graph paper. Don't use pen. Always use pencil on graph sheet. So now, here, let us plot the points of the first equation. When x is equal to 26, so here it is 25, and after 2 lines it is 26, and y is equal to 0. So it lies on the x-axis. This is our point. Similarly, 2 points later, 26 and half, 27. When x is equal to 27, y is equal to 1. 1 is here because the first square means 2. So now let us draw the line of this equation with 2 points, just with 2 points. You don't need much. So this is the line representing the equation x. Let me write it with pen because it is not visible here. X minus y is equal to 26. Since it is a line, you can see that I have put the arrow marks at the end. It shows that the line continues increasing in that direction. So this is our first equation. If you want, you can even put 2 small circles around your points. It looks good. It looks good and defined. So now for the second equation, the points of the second equation, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. It is here. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 is our origin. And when x is equal to 3, so 6 lines. 2 lines, 1, 2, 3. When x is equal to 3, y is equal to 1. Once again, 1 is here. So, plotting the line like this. So now let us draw the line for this equation. So this is the line. You can see both the lines of both equations intersect at a particular point. So first let us write down the equation here. X is equal to 3y is our equation. So this point, this is the geometrical representation of the equation. It means this first line for the equation x minus y is equal to 26, each and every point on this line is a solution for this particular equation. Similarly, each and every point on this line, that is x is equal to 3y, on this line is a solution of this equation. And where these points meet, this particular point where both the points or both the lines meet, this point of intersection is the solution for both the equations. So this way you will have to determine the solution of the equation graphically or geometrically. So just now in the graph we saw that when two lines of two different equations meet or intersect at a particular point, that particular point becomes the solution of both of those equations 1 and equations 2. But it does not happen every time. Sometimes what happens is that you'll get a plot like this, where the lines of both the equation coincide each other perfectly, or they lie on top of each other. You can see here the bigger line is for one equation and the smaller line which lies on top of that line, which coincides perfectly, is the line of the second equation. This shows that both the equations which were given to you has infinitely many number of solutions. And lastly, you'll get a graph for some equations like this, where the plots for both the equations represent parallel lines which never meet. So these kinds of equations whose graph is a parallel lines, then they have no solution. So instead of plotting a graph every time to determine whether the equation has a single solution or infinitely many solutions, or they have no solution at all, there is a shortcut to do that instead of plotting the graphs every time. So to do that, we need to know the relation between the coefficients of the equations. Coefficients are those constants that a1, b1, c1 and a2, b2, c2. Those numbers or the constants which we saw in the equations, they are the key to determining what kind of graph our equation would have. So first, given, we just saw that there are three cases. Either our equations have one unique solution, or they have infinitely many solutions, or they have no solution at all. So given two equations, a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. This is our first equation. And a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. This is our second equation. We can just, looking at the coefficients, we can determine which kind of plot those pair of equations will have. If condition 1, if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, this means the equations will have unique solution. That means they have only one solution and lines intersect each other. This is the first condition. Second, when a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, it means infinite solution. There are many number of solutions to the given pair of equations. Here the lines coincide. The lines are perfectly lying on top of each other. And the last condition is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but it is not equal to c1 by c2. You get no solutions. That means the lines are parallel to each other. This is a parallel plot. So these conditions are extremely important, children. You can directly determine what kind of equations or what kind of solutions your equation will have based on these three conditions without even the need to plot the graph. So when a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, you'll get intersecting lines for the graph. So that means unique or a particular one solution. When a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, it means infinitely many solutions. And that means the lines of the graph coincide with each other. And lastly, when a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2, it means the pair of equations has no solution whatsoever. The lines are parallel to each other. Let us look at few examples to see how it works. Alright. Consider the equations 2x plus 3y is equal to 9, 4x plus 6y is equal to 18. This is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. So now we have to determine whether these equations have a unique solution or infinitely many solutions or no solution at all between them. So first let us write down the values of a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2. So a1 is equal to coefficient of x in first equation, that is 2, and b1 is equal to coefficient of y in first equation. So b1 is equal to 3 and c1 is the constant of first equation. c1 is equal to 9. Similarly, a2 is equal to coefficient of x in second equation 4. b2 is equal to 6 and lastly c2 is equal to 18. So now let us look at our conditions. First let us find a1 by a2 which is equal to 2 by 4 which is equal to 1 by 2. 2 ones are 2s are 1 by 2. Similarly, b1 by b2 is equal to 3 by 6 which is equal to once again 1 by 2. So lastly c1 by c2 is equal to 9 by 18. 9 ones are 9 twos are 1 by 2. So here a1 by a2 is equal to half, b1 by b2 is equal to half and c1 by c2 is equal to half. This means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2 is equal to half. This means when all the three ratios are equal, then our equations are coinciding lines. It means they have infinitely many solutions. So let us write it down. Therefore, they have infinitely many solutions. Whenever the equations have infinite solutions or a single solution, they are known as consistent. When they have no solution or when the lines of the graph, you get the parallel lines in the graph, then they are inconsistent. So here first let us write down the result. They have infinitely many solutions. Now let us look at another pair of equations, that is x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. This is our equation 1. And 2x plus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. This is our second equation. So first let us write down the values of the coefficients. a1 is 1, b1 is equal to 2 and c1 is equal to minus 4. Similarly, a2 is equal to 2, b2 is equal to 4 and c2 is equal to minus 12. So now let us find the ratios. a1 by a2 is equal to 1 by 2. b1 by b2 is equal to 2 by 4 which can be reduced to 1 by 2. And lastly c1 by c2 is equal to minus 4 by minus 12. Minus minus cancels. 4 ones are 4 threes are which is equal to 1 by 3. So a1 by a2 is equal to half, b1 by b2 is equal to half, but c1 by c2 is equal to 1 by 3. Therefore a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2. This is the third condition, which means the lines of the plot are parallel to each other. That means the equations have no solutions. Therefore, they have no solution and hence they are known as inconsistent equations. This implies inconsistent. When they have one or many solutions, they are known as consistent. But these two equations which are given in our example, they are inconsistent with each other. You can even see the plot here. I will show you the plot of these equations. It is in your textbook. You can see it here. Yeah. This is the plot. This is the first equation. This is the second equation. 2x plus 4y minus 12. This is the line of that equation. And this is x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. This is the line of the first equation. You can see that they are parallel lines. In the first main question of exercise 3.1, Aftab tells his daughter, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then. That means if 2020 is today, then 7 years ago in 2013. In 2013, Aftab was 7 times as old as his daughter when she was in 2013. Also, 3 years from now, that is if this is 2020, then in 2023. 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. So represent this situation algebraically and graphically. So first let us represent it algebraically. Solution: let Aftab's age be x. Aftab's age be x and his daughter's age be y. So 7 years ago, let us put a table. Whenever they give you the age kind of situation, then make use of a table. It will make your work easy. So putting a table here like this. So now let us write down how many years ago and whose age we are dealing with. So first column, this is all we need, 3 by 3 columns. So write down name of the person. So 7 years ago. First case is 7 years ago and second case is 3 years from now. 3 years from now. Let Aftab's age be x and his daughter's age be y. These represent the present ages. Present age. Okay. So, sorry, this should not be name. This should be, it's okay. Name and 7 years ago. So, Aftab, if his current age is x, then 7 years ago his age would be x minus 7. If you are 15 years old now, then 5 years ago you were 10 years old or so. So if he was 6 years old now, then 7 years ago his age will be x minus 7. Similarly, his daughter would have 7 years ago, her age would be y minus 7. And he says that 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as u. That means x minus 7 is equal to 7 times y minus 7. This is the first equation. On simplification, you get x minus 7 is equal to 7y minus 49, which implies x minus 7y plus 42 is equal to 0 is the first equation. Because Aftab was 7 times more than his daughter's age. Similarly, 3 years from now, 3 years in the future, Aftab's age will be x plus 3 and his daughter's age will be y plus 3. He says that from 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. That means x plus 3, his age will be equal to 3 times his daughter's age, that is y plus 3. So on simplification, we get x plus 3 is equal to 3y plus 9, x minus 3y plus, this is minus 6 is equal to 0. This is the second equation. So we got our two equations. X minus 7y plus 42 is equal to 0 and x minus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. Now to represent this situation graphically, we have to determine the points for the graph. So since x minus 7y is equal to 42, we can write x minus 7y is equal to minus 42, x is equal to minus 42 plus 7y. So we will make use of this equation to find the points. Similarly, x is equal to 6 plus 3y. Just transpose everything to the right hand side. You can even keep y on the left hand side and transpose x to the right hand side. Both are one and the same. It will give you the same result. So now let us determine the points. So x, y, when y is equal to 6. When y is equal to 6, 7 6 are 42. 42 minus 42, you will get x is equal to 0. When y is equal to 5, 7 5s are 35. 35 minus 42, you will get minus 7. So these are the 2 points for our first equation. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 6, x is equal to minus 7, y is equal to plus 5. These are the points for our line. So put them in a table. Similarly, for the second equation, if put x and y, if y is equal to 0, 3 zeros are 0, 0 plus 6, 6. X is equal to 6. If y is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, x is equal to 3 ones are 3 plus 6, 9. X is equal to 9. So these are the 2 points. 2 points are enough to plot a graph. I will show you this first main, but the remaining 2 mains are your homework. So in our graph, you can see that I have taken the normal scale that we use every time in a Cartesian plane. So scale x-axis, 1 unit is equal to 1 year. Since we are dealing with age in our problem, we will be taking 1 square is equal to 1 year, and similarly y-axis 1 unit is equal to 1 year, because both represent ages of father and daughter. So here you can see the Cartesian plane, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. And similarly here y-axis 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. So for the first equation, for the very first equation, our points were x is equal to 0, y is equal to 6. So where is that point now? So when x is equal to 0, we have y is equal to 6. So this is the point on y-axis. Similarly, when x is equal to minus 7, which is here, x is equal to minus 7, y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5. It is here. So these two are the required points for our equation. Now let us draw the line. Remember, always use pencil in a graph. Because it is not visible in here in the video, I am making use of pen. But you should never use a pen in graph while plotting a graph. So here it is our line of the given equation. So put arrow marks. Let us extend it a little bit. Yeah. So put arrow mark and write the equation on top of the line. What was the equation? X minus 7y is equal to plus 42 is equal to 0 was the equation. Similarly, for the second equation, the points were x is equal to 6, y is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 6, y is equal to 0, this is the point on x-axis. And when x is equal to 9, y is equal to 1. This is the second point. So now let us draw the line. So this is the second line. Since they are only asked us to represent the equations or the situation graphically, there is no need to make the lines intersect with each other. If they had told us to solve them graphically, then we had to make sure that the lines intersected. But here there is no such need. Just write down the equation here. X minus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. This is the second equation, and this is the graphical representation of the given situation. So this is the homework for the day. Exercise 3.1, second and third question. In the exercise 3.1, there are 3 questions where the 3 situations are given, in which first one I solved it for you guys. I represented the given situation algebraically and graphically. So the same thing is to be done by you for the second and third question. In the next class, we'll look at the solved examples on graphical method of solution for the equations. Today we just represented the equations. In next class, we'll see how we can determine the solutions by plotting graphs, and also determine the type of the graph just based on the value of the coefficients of the equation. Make sure you write these notes in your fair book, and also please maintain a graph book. Instead of drawing the graphs in separate graph sheets and pasting them or losing them somewhere, maintain a graph book for this particular chapter. You will need graph for coming up chapters too. So make sure that you own a graph book. That's all for today. Thank you.